back to the Wild Thoughts Pod. I'm your co-host, Afi.
And I'm your co-host, Kat.
And as you can see, we've got 4 special guests. So we're back with the new episode 44. And this time we're asking our guy friends, you guys are too afraid to ask. So it's going to be a juicy one. Hope you guys are in for the ride.
Yeah, I think you forgot a word there, though.
What did I forget?
Asking our guy friends questions you're too afraid to ask.
Oh, did I say asking our guy friends you're too afraid to ask? Yeah. Should I redo it?
No, it's okay. It's all good.
Oops.
Okay, so let's get into introduction. So everyone introduce yourself just so they know your voice.
All right, so my name is Michael. I'm Catherine's sister.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to be
Here
here.
we go.
Oh my God.
Quite the honor.
My name is Nicholas.
I'm Paolo.
Oh, it goes great.
Hey, I'm Gianmarco.
Okay, perfect.
Amazing. Okay, so
This is going to be like 3 hours long.
are we doing rapid fire first? And
Yeah,
then,
let's do
okay.
rapid fire, just so they loosen up a little.
Are you guys
bit.
ready for the rapid
I don't know.
fire?
I don't think we have to get looser for this.
I literally,
Get your man in check.
I already made a joke. I'm good.
You know me, I'm already
Okay,
loose.
Michael's the only one
We're
that's
doing hot seat. Let's go.
hot seat questions. So I guess we'll start with Michael. What's your biggest pet peeve? Go.
My biggest pet, inefficiency.
Okay.
I want things to be done as productively as possible.
Isn't that answer inefficient though? Oh shit! I'm so sorry.
Whoa.
Here we go.
Correct.
This is supposed to be
And now I just
Rapid
take my time.
fire. Quick answers. Go.
okay, that's a good
Next.
one though. Go
It's the
Nick.
same question.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh my god, I'm put on the spot for this.
You got
It's
this.
hot
Just
seat
like
questions.
what's your you know yourself.
I don't know, like, I guess when you can say they're like super high maintenance, but not in an independent way, right? When they're seeking it out from others.
I was gonna say chewing with your mouth open.
Yeah. Oh, you
Classic.
No, I gotta do it like Joe Rogan, like real close to the mic. Like, okay, so we're gonna see some fringe science news.
This makes me ASMR for Paolo.
Oh yeah. You just
Everybody's crying.
I don't know, like laziness.
Okay.
Lazy.
Yeah,
That
it's pet
works.
peeve.
I realize how stupid my answer sounds.
Damn,
you guys
named 2 of my qualities.
There's
Okay.
no stupid answers.
On to the next famous question. What's your zodiac sign?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Of course.
My zodiac sign is a bottle of bourbon, preferably Maker's Mark.
Damn, that is such a man answer.
Is anyone else turned on?
I didn't want to say it. When I'm with you guys, I always am.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's literally the Mason yard. But seriously, Michael,
Yeah.
what's your zodiac sign?
I
People
am
want to
a-
know.
I am a Libra, like my brother
Oh,
before me.
Yeah.
I thought she was your sister.
He's making a joke.
I know, but what's the joke?
The joke is I am her sister, and
Okay,
she's my brother.
I'm done with you. Okay, Nick, what about you?
Success.
Oh shit, Kathy.
There's a lot of
Libras.
Libras.
Damn.
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're dangerous.
Not really. I'm like the opposite. I'm a Cancer.
Oh shit.
No, you're not. You're the
best.
Yeah. My personality is a cat. No, I'm
Toxic
joking.
ones at the end. Literally.
Everyone
joke.
that's listening,
It's a
they
joke.
know. If you know,
Depends
you know.
on your other planets,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's fine. So last question, guys. It's important. What's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure, food. I just love eating.
Same.
I sometimes wake up at 2 in the morning and just eat a whole cake or pie.
Ooh, okay. So more dessert, sweet tooth.
Yes.
We love that.
You were not a sweet tooth.
And yet he still looks fucking
I eat a
amazing.
whole pie by
You
myself.
just love pie.
I love
Doesn't mean
pie.
you're a sweet tooth.
Pie.
Okay,
I'll
pie.
change my answer.
Fine. Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Just pie.
Just fine. That's pretty cool. Very specific.
So, yeah, I'm food.
Food too?
No, like generic, all foods. I have like a
You're always
300-pound
food.
fat man living inside of me who needs to be pleased. That's my guilty pleasure.
Meanwhile, I am the 300-pound.
Oh,
Oh
He's the one living inside of me.
No! There it is! This is not going to be a PG.
Our episode?
Gotta put a
You have to put
disclaimer.
explicit
This is hate.
tag.
Oh
You
man.
guys knew what was gonna happen.
100%.
Keep going.
Did
My
Paolo
guilty
even ask
pleasure.
this?
Yeah,
said he-
Paolo.
Yes, food.
Okay.
Jesus Christ! All
You
of
guys
you
are
guys.
talking over Paolo. Okay.
Gianmarco, what's your answer?
It better not be food. I swear.
Food.
Real.
I mean, we're men, let's be honest.
That works.
What does that mean? We're men.
We're just always hungry.
Women love to.
It's
eat.
literally up.
This is why we need this
I'm pretty
podcast.
sure my
Already,
brother's,
you're already
guilty
being
pleasure is also
controversial. Women love to eat just as
My
much.
guilt.
Put us in a bar with unlimited supply of beer and wings.
This
and
is
we'll be
why
there.
women
Let-
hate you guys.
Let me explain something.
And that's not our problem.
If I didn't
Okay,
control myself
wow,
and
man, I'm taking
exercise
Kathy
as
with
much
me.
as I would be 400 pounds easily.
Oh man. Okay.
Let's
move on.
Thank
'cause
you
we're
for
gonna be
those
keep talking.
great answers.
Yeah, you're
very
getting to know
original.
them. Getting to know
pie.
them very well.
Yes, yours was original, but everyone else.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Wow,
let's get-
jeez.
Let's
Thanks,
get into
Afiyat.
the Instagram questions
Yes.
before we get into ours. We have a lot to get through, so we gotta. Our question was, what questions have you been dying to ask men? Very general. Why are you the way that you are?
Well, you see, psychologically speaking, it's a combination of nature and nurture. So I'm a
I
product
see.
of my environment. So that includes my parents, my sister, my brother. My friends. And it's just going through school and everything. It's very deep to get and it's just complicated to get into. But let's explain it with that.
Sounds like it's complicated to say.
My
Alright.
answer's really simple.
I like that
Just too much
answer, actually.
TV and video games and internet.
Okay, that I believe.
What's that supposed to be?
Okay,
Michael gave a good answer.
It was very scientific. So the next
Are we surprised
Yeah.
the robot gave the scientific answer?
It's just gonna. All of the clips on my phone are just gonna be me staring straight at
You
them.
side-eye.
Is this Wild Thoughts podcast or The Office? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip over this one because it's very similar to the first question. But the next question is, why are most guys afraid of femininity but sexualize it?
Ooh,
What you
that's
think?
good. Because you find it attractive, right? Like most
Like
most
you're-
guys in general.
Is it
Feminine
like
women
why
are afraid of
are we
men-
afraid
yeah,
of
men
men being
being
feminine,
feminine.
but we embrace femininity
Okay.
in women?
Right.
Is that what
I think
that's-
I'm
I
pretty
think that's
sure
what
that's
they're
the
asking.
question, yeah.
It's simple. It's the way society brought us up to be as men, right? Like in the ways we have to be the manly man.
Yeah,
I
You
think
can't
it's-
really share your emotions. It's kind of the way that it's always been, right?
Like traditional.
We cannot it's always been like frowned upon for men to show a sensitive side, to show that feminine side, but they always seek it.
I think it goes even deeper than just like society as a general, right? Like society is like very broad,
Yeah, I mean,
right? Like
upbringing has a
like
lot
the
to do.
upbringing, I think has so much more of an impact on it. Like I was raised with 3 sisters, and like my mother in the house, so we were 6 in total, 2 of which my father and myself were the only men in the house. But it's like there was never the image of masculinity and femininity. It was just hey. Yeah, it's just you be you. Yeah, you're a human. Be comfortable in your own skin and show. That's it.
Same
Just
thing.
along those lines, and basically what you were saying is, I think you've mentioned it on the podcast or somewhere before, where like we had kind of like an opposite upbringing. Where like all the women in our family are very strong, and all the men in our family are very emotional.
Yeah.
So, at the first of that question, I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
really. So,
I
so,
think-
like,
I think
get
it's a
very
general-
emotional
Yeah, it's a
and
very
okay that-
societal
So,
question.
but as general, I do agree that it's very
Yeah.
there's societal pressure to
But-
just like be a man. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? Like,
The,
don't care.
the environmental
Yeah.
upbringing of certain men determine it 100% more than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
It depends if you're in a mixed household or like I guess you can say, I wouldn't say like a weak one, but like let's say one where it's not really expressed, and then there it goes into a more societal
Right.
factor, right? Determining how school is with teachers, with friends, and all that.
Yeah. I feel like it's both, right? It could be how you're
Yeah.
raised.
It's
but
such
also
a 50-50
society.
chance because it kind of depends on so many other factors.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true. Paolo, you want to add anything?
No, they pretty much nailed it on the head. It comes down to really environment, who you surround yourself with, the way you were brought up.
Yeah.
It all like kind of pushes into one pot and then comes out either toxic masculinity or like
It's
be
pretty,
normal.
it's pretty ironic. It's pretty ironic since we're all very emotional men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the 4 of us are very down. Like even when we're get together, just the 4 of us for a board game night, it's never like
Just start crying.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I mean, we could if
Like,
we wanted to.
It's not superficial.
exactly. It's never like we're trying to outmatch macho.
Yeah.
Macho the other out of it. I don't know, but you know what I mean. It's very down to earth and it's comfortable. It's very open. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool,
I like
we
that.
love that.
Okay. Why do you ask girls? I don't think any of you do this, but
Well, you can speak for other men, maybe.
yeah. Why do you ask girls for their Instagram or Snapchat on dating apps?
Well, like, why would men do that? Like, what is the
I
logic behind
100%
that?
can answer that
Okay.
without a doubt.
I cannot answer.
No, it's because the thing is, most men already, if you think about it, not all of them,
Yeah.
but a good population of men determine a lot of factors based off of physical attraction.
Right.
And the only way they can do that is by seeing kind of like what they have, right?
Yeah.
By using Instagram or asking for that or Snapchat, you're
Yeah.
going to see Instagram's going to show more or less the woman at their best because they usually post their best.
Yeah.
Snapchat, you know, if you
Nudes.
get comfortable, you're going to see more
I
of the
love
other
little
side.
pictures.
I
I love seeing raw men.
I love ramen also. I could go for a ramen right now. That's the way I think. It's kind of like
That makes sense.
it's kind of like judging it. I
Yeah.
guess you can say, right?
Yeah.
You just need to see every aspect of what they got. And
Yeah.
I mean, if they actually like it or not.
Right.
I do think on our side, we immediately go to their find
We
their
do it
Instagram.
because we're too shy to actually
Yeah.
ask because we don't want to seem like
Therefore,
shallow.
why you guys are masters at just discovering.
But why do you guys
Oh,
have to
yeah.
ask? Just go stalk
Exactly.
and then follow us.
Sometimes it's
You don't-
like private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. But
But it also can come up. No, but it can also come off as creepy.
if you're just
Yeah.
Like if you're talking to a guy that you met on a dating site
Yeah.
or like on like Tinder or whatever,
right
and
away
then
goes
right
for
away
Instagram.
he goes, yeah, and you see that you saw the profile and like started liking all your pictures, and you're like, okay, well I said hi like 2 seconds ago, maybe that's gonna be a bit creepy and
Yeah.
aggressive.
it's like a lose-lose.
Wait, depends.
Yeah. There's definitely no way of
But like,
winning.
it kind of depends on the context of like the
Yeah.
conversation, right?
There is a way to win that, and that's to not have Instagram or barely use Snapchat.
No, then
Like
you're
it.
then you're considered creepy. But you're not. But like
I'm
you know what
considered
I mean?
creepy for not having an
No,
Instagram
you're not. But you know, like
'Cause some
sometimes
people are
It just
like
looked
question
I
like
think
who
it-
doesn't have social media.
Yeah, but I think it
But it's-
depends the
you're
way
not
you're looking
creepy.
at
Yeah,
it.
just someone that doesn't want that.
But actually, no. It is actually a lot of women like that because it makes
Yeah.
you guys seem like low key and like okay, he's not into all that like social media stuff and like impressing
Yeah,
others.
exactly.
So.
Already,
You're not
pretty
creepy
much,
like
that's
those
not
The thing
guys.
is, even if you go to a guy's account, they don't post.
Well, some people do.
Right? No,
Yeah.
I'm saying
The
like
only stuff
it
I
can be the
post
same thing.
is,
Yeah.
is other people's stuff. I post about your podcast.
But you have
I
Facebook.
post about your
They're
sister's
gonna-
cookies
Yeah.
from scratch, MTL.
Sponsored this video is sponsored in part by
A spread.
Today's ads are.
Okay, free promo there.
Review of
Okay, so last question from Instagram: is kissing on the first date a must?
No.
No.
It's never happened.
It's never. It's what?
It's never happened.
Oh yeah.
It's just more of a see you later.
A little handshake and adios.
Okay.
No, I think it's happened to me a couple of times, but other times it hasn't. So I think it's like you said, it depends on the vibe.
Situational.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the connection
The
is
other person might not want to.
Yeah.
So then it just doesn't happen.
Okay, that's cool. So you won't take it like you
It's
won't be
not-
offended
yeah,
if
there's
they're
no
not
offense
like
to it.
okay.
It's
It
kind of just like
happens
you had a nice night, you had a nice night.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to end
In a-
with a kiss
yeah.
to make it the greatest.
True.
Right.
Very
So
true.
you just feel out the situation. If you feel it, then you do it.
That's it.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope for the best.
Would the guys
You're
always
like, hopefully.
want? Do you think like men in general are always the ones who are willing to have the first
100%.
kiss?
Because you know why? Men are always going to show that they're really invested physically into a woman. So if they're physically attracted, they're always going to want to go for it, let's be
Okay.
honest, right?
So if they're not kissing on the first day and they don't want to, that means they're not physically.
No,
attracted.
that's what I mean.
Oh my god.
You're going way too into it now.
Hey, I just
100% is not necessarily true.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
so.
true.
It's to a certain point. Like, you know, certain men, like, they obviously, you can tell.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. We got through the
Yeah,
questions.
slowly but surely.
That's great. Okay.
So we're gonna get into our main questions, but I just want to say a disclaimer to the podcast. Everyone here, as far as I know, is heterosexual.
Yes.
If you're not,
Well, not with these guys.
I mean, it depends. Exactly. It's like.
They're the exception.
Well, we're
They're the
asking it
exceptions.
from a heterosexual point
Exactly.
of view.
I may not be an athlete, but I do bat for both teams.
there you go. There's your answer. So let's get into the questions. So the first one is, do you mind if your girlfriend or the girl you're seeing has a lot of guy friends?
No, not at all.
Juicy.
I think it depends on the past, right? Depends on the guy too that
Okay.
you're dating. But
Like if it was like.
let's say if there was like a situation where there was kind of like something there, and then they stayed really close friends, and they were still very flirtatious.
Yeah,
It'd be uncomfortable for certain people, right?
for sure.
But it depends on like obviously the context of the background. For the most part, as long as like everyone gets on the show, like I don't see a problem.
Okay, cool.
For the person that, let's say, if I was seeing someone, oh yeah, surprise, I'm not seeing someone anymore.
I wanted to ask, but this was definitely not the place to say it, and I was just like, I'm not gonna bring it up right
Michael's
now.
single,
You start naming
everyone. So
names.
So
I hit him
for the
up.
person-
He doesn't have Instagram, but he's on Facebook.
Yes, I am on Facebook.
Go at him.
No, but for the person, let's say, if I was seeing someone, I think it's more just like, I wouldn't mind if she was friends with guys, but it's
Yeah.
more like, if there was one person I got a weird
That
vibe
vibe
from,
from?
like, I would mind if he was friends with her.
Yeah.
Like, it's more the other way. But it's like,
You'd have a discussion and be like, maybe
Yeah.
boundaries need to be set up.
yeah, I would discuss, and then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I know this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, oh, okay, I understand.
Okay.
But the other thing too is like if you're as a guy, if you're having that feeling of not being okay with it,
Right.
it's one of two things. Either you have a reason to be, or there's insecurity in the relationship.
Mm.
With means lack of trust, lack of
Communication is key.
Exactly. So like that's the thing too, right? If you're not communicating about it and you're just gonna, have that,
Yeah.
insecurity is gonna just kind of ruin that
Yeah.
vibe.
True. Because it could be like an insecurity just within from the person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there could be nothing.
Most of the
wrong.
time, it's like a one-way thing where it's just you're thinking about the situation,
Yeah.
but it's like not even a
Might
thing.
not even exist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm like me and my girlfriend and I rather, excuse me, like if we weren't even dating, we'd be like super great friends, right? So if she had other guy friends, I just figured that I would click with them, so I'd have probably no issues with
Kind of my
it.
situation, right?
All
Yeah.
secure men, we
Like,
love
when
it.
we first started dating, I didn't
Yeah.
know anybody, so it was a little uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? Because she does have quite a bit of guy friends.
Yeah.
Until like started to knowing them, right?
Yeah.
The moment, the moment you started to get to know them and you
Yeah.
talk to them, then that obviously
Like, oh, they're
changes
chill.
everything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love them.
I love Nick. Full disclaimer: I love all three of you guys. Like, come on.
We're feeling the love this
tons of love.
episode.
We're very not heterosexual together. That's for sure.
Whatever, okay, that means.
Most guys.
We're comfortable in our sexuality.
Okay, are you guys ready for the next?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's go.
Ready? Okay. Do you care about a girl's body count?
Do you know what that
Like,
means?
how many people she's murdered? Yes.
Michael, okay.
That's illegal. No, as long as she was safe.
Okay.
Like, I care more about that she was safe than anything.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think it would depend, because I think I would also think about the other situation, right? Like if you're looking at a really high body count. Whoa.
Do you
High
want-
body count?
Yeah.
You're gonna kind of see it as intimidating,
Okay.
right?
Like if she
And-
has more than you, let's say.
Yeah, but it's not just that. Like let's just say obviously when we look at societal, like guys, a lot of guys can be playboys, right?
Yeah.
For example, girls can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like let's say like the numbers are like mass numbers.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel intimidated and a little uncomfortable. Why? Because then the thing is like, you're gonna have a little bit of self-conscious in yourself in terms of like, oh, like she's been with.
Comparing
Yeah,
yourself,
exactly.
yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of comparative situations going on. You're gonna be like, okay, but like, am I like good or like
Yeah.
you're gonna start thinking like that because of the high body count.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if it's something I guess you can say a little more average,
Yeah.
you're not gonna think twice about it. As like he said, as long as you're safe, right?
Yeah.
You go with the flow.
Okay. What's like
I was
what's a
just
number?
gonna
What's
ask
too
that.
much?
Yeah.
What's
What's
Not too
high
much.
for you?
Yeah, like
Guys,
what's
I got this.
what's where you start thinking about comparison?
You're
Like
gonna
what's
say
the
one.
69.
I hate that.
Oh my god.
Well, see,
That was not funny.
I think that very depends too.
I had 3 people here laughing.
Yeah,
The
100%.
testosterone in here is too much.
I think it depends too, though, right? Like, I mean, for example, in
Depends
our
on
age
how
group, we're like only like we're mid-20s, right?
Right.
So, like,
Mid-20s.
Google average.
No, but like what I'm saying is like if you're like around 20, 25, you're
Yeah.
obviously gonna have quite a big experience between like high school and now, right?
Right.
You can expect like maybe 10,
Yeah.
but like if you're looking like 15, 20,
Then you're like, oh shit.
even a little bit more, you're gonna start thinking about it a little bit
Right.
more, right?
What is he doing?
He's counting.
But what I'm saying is like
They don't know if
if
it's accurate.
you're in your 30s or 40s, it might seem a little bit more okay if like they're around that 20,
Okay.
25, because people can have flings, they have bad breakups, right? They kind of just go through
Yeah.
a little
Yeah, of course.
situation.
Do what you
stuff.
gotta
yeah,
do,
exactly.
yeah.
You do
Person
it,
to
yeah.
person. Everyone has I think everyone would have a different number. Like I said, I don't
True,
really
it
care.
depends on the
So,
person.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, you come to me like, 200. Were you safe?
Yeah.
So
At the end of the
I'd
day,
literally
just
be like,
change
where
the
did you find
person.
so many?
so like I didn't even know that.
Shit,
the
for real.
population
Like
went that
I mean,
high.
at least it was just for the sex, so it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah, seriously.
Honestly,
Go for it.
for me, it's generally doesn't bother me, like, because like Michael said, it's like as long as they're safe. But I will say I will get a little bit uncomfortable if it's around the person's age or more. So like, let's say it's like
the 20 and 25.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
so it's like I'll be a little uncomfortable just because I'll be like, okay, so am I gonna be part of the body count, or am I gonna stick it out to the end of the war?
Like another notch on the belt type of thing.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
I understand.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, I've dated other people prior to my current girlfriend who had had been with more people, and it's like at the end of the day, I didn't care, because it's like, if we got to that point, it's because I thought there was potential for something serious. So I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's part of your history. It's not going to define you.
No.
It's, well,
But I think like these are also more of the answers of people that would like are seeking relationship.
Yeah.
If you're not, I mean, no one really cares.
Yeah, true.
Right? So like there's also that perspective.
So if you're seeking a relationship in general, men would ask this, would care about, they would ask.
At one point
There'd
or
be a
another,
thought.
at one point or another, it would definitely be a question.
You would never go throughout the relationship not ever asking or not knowing.
To a certain extent, it's also just
Like a
curiosity
safety-
factor.
Okay.
It's like it's a topic that might come up and then
Yeah,
discuss
for
it,
sure.
right? So.
All right, true.
So let's move on to the next question. So the question is, do you care about body hair?
Not really.
That was a pause. Why wouldn't you hesitate?
What I was gonna say is like if I don't if I can't expect myself to be what I would seek out, I'm not gonna grab that. You know what I mean? Like in central, I have like a body hair, right?
Right.
If I have like a lot of body hair, she might not be comfortable with it, right?
Yeah.
If they're not comfortable with it, why would I expect? You know what I mean? Like the reverse.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
you're just saying why would I expect someone to have no body hair when I have
Exactly.
myself have
Like
body
it's
hair?
a normal thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like as long as you're very hygiene
answer.
orientated,
Yeah.
like what does it matter? You know what I mean? As long as you keep
Natural,
clean
it's
and
part-
everything.
yeah.
Exactly.
I hesitated for a second because I was like, do I care about my own body hair?
Your partners.
Your
But
Pinterest
no,
hairs.
it-
Question passed through my mind.
I feel like if
I-
any of
I
you say
appreciate-
yes, you're gonna get canceled.
No, so I think the way I groom myself to that be of a potential partner as well, in that way. Not that I want them to have a mustache and
You
a
just keep
goatee.
it groomed.
keep it clean.
Essentially, if we keep ourselves
keep
to a
it
certain
clean.
standard, we're gonna have at least some
Certain
expectations to have
Kinda
more or less
smaller
the same
than
thing, right? In terms of hygiene.
Right. What if she doesn't let's say shave her hair? Would that be an issue?
What do you mean?
In
Which hair?
What do you mean?
You're saying shave hair? Like,
No,
what do you-
legs.
I don't care.
I grew up with two women in my house. Winter
I have
time.
an interesting answer
Like,
for this, I think. So, right, we all have our preferences, right, physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, etc., right? My preference is legs, and therefore
Okay.
I think I would care if someone had
So there's
hair
a
on their legs.
preference. There's a preference, but let's say if they don't shave, you're not gonna be turned
you
off.
need to
Are you
shave.
turned off by it?
I haven't experienced that yet, but my instinct is to say yes.
Yeah.
But if
I
ever I
mean-
get there, I'll come back on the podcast and confirm.
I think it's also
By the way,
society,
guys.
society. The way
Yeah.
they.
Like
How-
I'll be to go
Like
along with what I
women's
said before.
standards.
If I want to groom myself, I expect it. I've thought about just getting rid of all the
Your
hair.
leg hair.
My leg hair,
You're
my
like,
arm
"Fuck
hair.
you."
I don't have much, but honestly, it's just I might as well just get it. Get smooth, Get rid of all
Comparing.
get rid of all the
Yeah.
air resistance on my body. Get that swimmer's body so I can go faster.
It's all about aerodynamics.
Oh my god.
Damn, everything has to be about science here.
It, it might be a bonding experience where we go and take care of our leg hair together.
They go
Okay,
get waxed.
I think you just have to find a partner that meets those standards and is on the
Yeah.
same page at the end of the day.
Basically.
Exactly.
But in all honesty, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
As long as because Nick said, it's the standard. But even then, it doesn't bother me.
Put in perspective, they have beards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not every woman like beards either, right? On
Yeah,
their face.
true.
But if they deal with it, I mean, if you have to deal with a little bit of leg hair, what's the matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just society has made us
It's very
think that these are
psychological.
Yeah.
the expectations
The norm.
from
Exactly.
women, and this is the beauty standard. So it's kind of we've been brainwashed to think okay, this is
Yeah,
when you're most feminine or most beautiful.
Yeah.
It makes sense as to why we
Yeah.
think that way.
I mean, I live with my girlfriend, so it's there's obviously days where she will her won't have shaved legs all the
You'll see
time.
both sides.
Yeah, exactly. You see both sides of the spectrum on it, and it's why should it bother me? Like, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It's fully on her. Like, she'll feel like grossed out about it, and she'll go ahead and do it, and I'll be like, but I don't think I'll ever tell her, be like, hey,
I think it's
by the way, it's time. It's a little prickly there. I don't think I would ever say that to her.
I mean, I really have a carpet on my leg. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that too. Like, my legs are super hairy, and I'm just like, how can I tell her, hey, go shave if my legs are like a carpet?
I'm gonna shave. I might go shave my legs tomorrow.
You know what, Mike? Call me when you do. We'll shave our legs together.
Waxing the guys.
Oh my god.
Part 2. Part
You'll never
2.
catch me doing that.
I think it's also
if you
like.
want some spicy material, I'm down.
Episode 45.
Not in the winter.
Oh yeah, no, not in the winter. We have to keep warm.
Okay. I think it depends on your connection too. Like your girlfriend, you have a deep connection with her. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really change how you feel about them. But I understand why, like, let's say you're seeing someone for the first few times, like in terms of like attractiveness, whatever.
Yeah, there's a level of comfort.
Yeah,
eventually
yeah,
that comes
I get it.
there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Next question. What's the first thing you notice about a girl?
Eyes.
Smile.
Always the eyes.
Paulo.
Oh, shit.
What was that laugh?
I got
Mike.
So usually if they're looking in my direction.
Oh. That's fair.
So their eyes, basically.
Sure.
Smile.
It's like they're just completely turned around.
I
It's
think
like
smile's
maybe.
the first thing you notice for me.
The back of their head.
Eyes, smile.
The eyes, yeah.
I honestly hair.
Hair. Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Nice. Good answer.
I go with smile, but also like for not just like the smile, but like the confidence that comes with it.
Okay.
Period.
So you have to like talk to
like-
them first
yeah,
to
like-
see, or just how they're smiling.
No, like get the like no like.
It's like
That's a great follow up, but I'm
think
like
of it as like us guys, like certain times how we smile can be very charismatic.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same concept.
Oh, like if you have that charisma. which
Yeah,
is-
exactly. Right? The way you
Okay.
strut your stuffs, you know, quote unquote, whatever.
Okay.
How you strut your smile.
but
It's more like how you bring
Present
people
yourself.
confidence. Like you walk like. You
This
know,
question really sparks.
How we walk.
Oh,
Yes, this is how humans walk.
like
yeah, no, but it's the confidence, the presentation, because it's like if you're, and it's not like what you're wearing, right? It's the presentation on like you could be in a pair of sweatpants and have the most confidence in the room, and that's what I look
and
for.
the thing too, though,
Yeah.
it's another. It can also be like a negative side too, right? It can also show the fact that if you actually take care of yourself, right? You can see people like don't brush their teeth.
Yeah. What if it's like they're just born with like
There's
bad
obviously
teeth?
genetic issues,
Yeah.
but like that's like looking too deep into it. If you don't know the person, how would you know?
Right.
So, fun fact, what if someone has a genetic defect and had to take medication and has stained teeth for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, but like
what does that mean?
It doesn't show though.
Doesn't show
Yours
because
are
I
nice.
brush my teeth way too much, but my teeth are yellowed from all the medication I took being a sickly child.
Oh.
But like what I'm saying is if you're looking
But
at
okay,
first
okay, now.
impression,
We're
like
talking-
without knowing anything,
exactly.
that's what it
Yeah,
would be.
I get
You
it.
kind of look at the different,
Like,
like it shows a
hygiene,
lot,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I get it. We love
All
it.
right.
So you want a nice white crisp smile.
It doesn't
No,
have to be white.
it doesn't-
Can't be
no.
perfect white,
Just
like,
charismatic, confident.
confident look.
Okay, so you said
But
eyes, smile, hair.
Confidence, but I find it mainly in the smile. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Smiles.
Good answer, good answers.
Cool.
Good answer.
Very-
Good answer. Okay.
My family is our family.
What?
Your family?
Well, not my family, but like my cousins.
Shut up.
Yeah.
What, they're on
Canadian
Family
ones or the
Feud?
The Canadian one.
Is
They
it
won like
hair?
$10,000 or $20,000. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
So-
if it's not
didn't
if it's
get
not
on
the
it.
Steve Harvey
I'm
one,
sorry.
doesn't count.
My family
Ah.
loves watching Family Feud. You need to send it to us.
All right.
Okay. Link
He's like,
us.
okay,
Link
I
us. Okay.
Add the link in the description.
What?
The link's gonna be in the description.
Anyone feel free to watch.
If you guys want to watch Paolo's family.
And win 10-20,000.
He's just gonna put it.
Oh my god. Okay, so what's your idea of a perfect first date?
I think it's very classic for me to say this, but you do a nice movie and dinner. Because it's the easiest thing to judge right off the bat how you get along with a person.
But the movie, you don't get to like
Yeah.
talk.
It's not about that. It's not about conversation when you get to the movie. It's about comfort with each other. Right?
On the
So
first
you-
date?
Well,
Do you eat before or after the dinner? Do you eat before or after the dinner?
Before?
Okay.
After the movie.
Yeah, you don't.
That's dinner.
Oh yeah,
You eat before,
My
so that
brain
way
is
you
always
eat
thinking
less
of
at
food.
dinner, so that way they don't think you're a pig.
No, it's
That's my
fine.
trick.
But
I'm
some
joking.
people say to eat after the movie because then you can talk about the movie if it's gonna be awkward. There's that.
But then if you're
advice.
just like going on a first date
Yeah.
and you're just watching, like,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
that-
weird.
I know for me, I like overthink and just I won't even pay attention to the movie.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, look, like I said, it's pretty basic, but like
Yeah,
at the same time,
I get it.
I think the dinner and movie though is more for those type of people that like you kind of already have a basic connection. with them.
Yeah.
And then you have the
like-
movie to see like more of the, I guess you can say the intimate because
Yeah.
in a way you are closer together.
Yeah.
The lights are closed. You're watching a movie. You know, you can kind of cuddle
Yeah.
type of thing, right? Like they kind of judge that side of the relationship to see
Yeah.
if there's, you know, that.
So more
added.
someone you're not just someone you're meeting for the first time.
No,
kind of,
but
you
it's
know?
not a bad thing. I would probably
Yeah.
do the reverse if it's the first time.
Yeah,
Do the movie first, and you guys can talk after.
Cool.
But
right?
do you do this as someone who is on a first date with someone that you've already known for a while, or is this something like?
Yeah, what's like a first date though? Like you just like let's say
Meeting
blind
them for the
date
first
or like
time.
Tinder date. You're going on a date. What would you do? We'll give him time to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need time to think as well.
You want to go or you want me to jump in for it?
We did a movie and dinner.
I was like, he's probably thinking of.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's fair. I think like if I've out of experience, when I met the girl for the first time, like in person, like if we met on a dating app, obviously pre my girlfriend, which I love very much. Shout out to Julia, I love you. No, like it would be. It's gonna be super awkward now saying it that I know she's gonna watch. No. First date. No. The first date would definitely be like a small activity or going out for a coffee,
Like
going
an
out for a
escape
drink. Like lighter.
You can't do that. You can't do first date for an escape room.
You're trapped
Because the thing
together
is,
for
what
an
if
hour.
you're not enjoying it?
exactly.
You need to
Exactly.
you need to escape.
You need a quick out. If it's going badly, you need a quick out, and it's why like.
Escape room's like, how the fuck did you understand this?
You're in an escape room with someone you don't like. I'm gonna be escaping from the person, not the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I agree with you.
Like it's definitely like either you either go for a drink, you go play pool, you go do a small event, go for a coffee, go for
Like
a walk
little,
at the
like,
park,
picnic.
a light picnic, just something so that like a lot of times it's like I would go downtown and be like, okay, let's go get a drink, have one or two drinks, and then like if it's not working, you're like, all right, secretly chug a third drink and like, all right, this isn't working, I'm out. And then you call the guys and you're like, where you guys at? But no, if it is working, then you just like, you had the 2 drinks, you're walking around in the park, and then you just start walking, and then it's just like talking. Exactly, you're talking a lot, and that's perfect for me.
I think talking is like key
for sure.
personally.
Yeah.
100%.
That's why
It's
people
a-
usually go for drinks or coffee. Just
Yeah,
'cause that's when
exactly.
you get to have that
Right,
conversation.
yeah. And activities, you kind of get to see how the person is, like,
You
just
can see a
in
goofy side of
general.
person.
Yeah, exactly. In public, you know, like how they are, just
Yeah.
their mannerisms. But you can do that, I guess, for any day.
So for me, it depends really the not the weather, like the season. Like summer, I would want to, take advantage and go outside, maybe downtown, Old Port,
yeah.
exactly. Do like a walk, maybe like a restaurant or like fast food, something like simple. If it's the winter, I would want to do something more indoors.
Cozy.
Yeah, so
Or
it would
ice
definitely be
skating.
like
Classic.
yeah. Oh my god, at
If
the
you know how,
atrium.
yeah.
I'm sorry, you don't know how to ice skate.
You know how to skate?
No.
you,
I wanted to.
you used to skate, no? But
No,
you,
she-
you
no.
wouldn't want to get up. You told
She
me
used
this.
to stand
That was
on the
yes.
ice.
We would be like this.
Knew about this.
But it is a lot
It
of people
is.
do that for a
Yeah,
first date
true.
because you're doing an activity but at the same time you can have that whole conversation.
It's fun for
and it's very fun
Yeah.
at the same time. If someone
is.
doesn't know how to skate, right?
You
they're
like
falling,
teaching them. It's
goofy.
like cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true.
You have to build a bond. You have to
Yeah.
build something that you can like use to grow.
And see how they respond to it too, I guess. Like how the chemistry is.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
How they bounce.
I love that.
Okay.
Like
Figure
that.
something.
I think I don't know, my head went more to like the safest kind of date, and I think it's more like what you said, you go for a drink, coffee, something like that, so that way it's quick, you get to talk, you get to know each other, especially if it's someone that you don't have prior history
Yeah.
with, like
Yeah.
you don't know who they are at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can do the same over dinner if it's someone that you know a little bit better and you're a little more comfortable
Yeah.
already, but I think probably something that
Quick.
something quicker like that on a first
Yeah.
encounter date. I think that would probably be
And then you
best.
can do add-ons if you're
Exactly.
enjoying
Yeah,
it.
and
the
then
moment.
if
Yeah,
it's
but-
going well, you can be like, oh, let's just go do this or
Let's go,
that.
yeah.
I think it also depends on the vibe that you get pre like scheduling that day, right? Like for example, like you could be meeting someone, but you could be talking, you know, for like a couple weeks before you meet them for the first time, right?
The talking.
So you can already build on that connection, and then you can guys like both figure out something you guys want to do.
Yeah.
And then based off of that, then you know it depends on the situation.
Yeah. But the vibe on text versus in person is
it's different. But the thing is, if you guys are like on the same page,
beforehand,
then you can kind of maybe do something a little bit riskier in terms of doing something like an escape room activity, or something that you're more locked in terms of not an easy escape if it does escape room.
Yeah.
But you know, like you can risk it a little bit more on that first date, knowing the context.
Yeah. To be fair, like when I was going on a lot of first dates when I was like younger, and it would be like summer Montreal. It's like first dates happen a lot, right? You meet a lot of people. They're a lot of fun. Yeah. You meet a lot of people, and then like you'll never talk to them again because it didn't click, right? Then it's not ghosting. It's just like, hey, sorry, it didn't work. Yeah. But what I would do is I would have like a lot of like backup plans. Be like, okay, well, like if we do this, and if it's going really well, hey, well, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll recommend, I already have something planned, and I'll be like, oh, why don't we go for ice cream now? Like, you know, it'll be like an added thing.
To extend the day.
Exactly, so that if it's not working, I have an out. I'm not working. If it is working, if it is working, and I find myself in this area of downtown, I know like 1 or 2 places we could go to. If we're here in the Old Port, I got 1 or 2 places that I know is gonna be different and fun. That it's not gonna be like, oh, what do you want to do now? And it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm like,
it's
prep and I'm planned. Exactly.
It's a nice flow that it continues off.
Yeah, and then this way, this way, you're just like, oh yeah, hey, well, I heard about this great place that has fresh ice cream. Like, why don't we go there? Yeah. And then you get to like judge the level of adventureness with the partner, right? Because if they're like, no, exactly. If they're like, no, I don't want it because it wasn't planned, you're like, all right, I'm done.
Oh, that's a turn off.
100%.
That's shit. Okay, we're getting into.
But see, like I'm the opposite. I never had a lot of those first dates because for me, I find the conversations beforehand didn't warrant enough interest for it to actually become something.
You wouldn't be so like, oh, maybe they're different in person. And
well, like I mean, most of the people I've always encountered, it was always like those conversations where it's like they're not interested halfway through, right? Okay, or like some people have just really bad. Like that's the other thing.
They're not good at texting.
Exactly, they're probably just terrible at texting. Yeah. But like it's a turn off. So you don't continue because she's bad at texting. I know.
How are you really?
But we didn't start off texting.
Yeah, it's different. No, for sure.
I just don't text.
The love story.
I'm not gonna say names, but I know someone who would send paragraphs at a time.
Do I know this person?
Yeah, you do. But
are they a writer? A novelist?
Is it from
they're
high
robotic. They're a robot, basically. But
Mike,
the person responded with paragraphs back. Imagine the risk in crafting.
Holy shit.
A paragraph and then getting another paragraph back. I was like, I made fun of the person for a very long time.
But then you covered for it.
Wait, I don't get what's wrong with that. They wrote a paragraph?
Like that, where we would send paragraphs to each other.
Because there's a lot to take in if you don't know the person. Right?
Oh, okay, like they're just starting out,
and
then
of questions, one shot.
Oh shit!
Tell me.
I will tell you after the show.
Paragraphs depend. I feel like if you're getting to know them, sometimes I feel like people appreciate you putting effort into your text. Yeah. But if it's going on for like a month, then you're just like, whoa.
A few times there was a read more.
It's like a lot too much.
That would turn me off.
It would take all day to answer. Oh shit.
That's when like there's some drama and I'm trying to like tell someone off. That's when I send those.
But also I feel like nowadays at not post because we're still in it, but like during COVID, I feel like we don't like being on our phones as much. So I would be annoyed if someone was just like texting me paragraphs. Yeah. I'd rather just like
I get annoyed after like 2 texts.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
I just want to be like
and it's just like Nick like
advertise you being single.
Snapchat. I just
Q into yesterday where I texted her at like 4. I didn't get an answer until she said goodnight.
Nice.
Oops, I forgot to see this.
I didn't see that one.
I don't answer for like
that's an often thing.
Right? I was just like,
text me, I'll go bother her.
But it's because now we're more like we don't need to answer right away. That's why.
But see, like for me, it doesn't bother me at this point because I know.
Are you more of a type? I'll answer right away.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
Because like for me, I'll get like my phone goes off and I'll answer it.
Because you hear the ding and it triggers you.
Nah, it's like just that's how I am.
Okay.
I can keep conversation on like text like very quickly. Sometimes it gets a lot. Like let's say if you're talking to multiple people and it's just like constant back and forth. Then I'm like, no thanks, I'm done. Yeah. Well, if you're just like one person back and forth, I'm okay with that.
Okay. I'm going to ask a sub question to the question we just asked about first dates, but do you guys get nervous for a first date?
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
There's so much invested in the first impression of like that scenario. You know what I mean? Because like even if let's say you've seen like each other as like friends before, and now it's gonna be like an official like romantic, our first date. Yeah. There's so much pressure to make sure that first impression of that romanticized relationship goes well.
We're just gonna see you guys mouthing at each other.
Mike and I are like having half a conversation.
But I love it. It's so dynamic.
I'm laughing because he's part of like my recent go with it. So I was single for like years. I don't recall how long.
The next number.
Right? But then when it got to the point where like I asked someone out, I was like, I don't remember how to do any of this. So I'm in like all my friends groups and I'm like, guys, what do I do? This and that. And
oh my God,
that's because he was part of that.
Yeah. It happened one time during like the game night we were doing.
There was one during game night.
I love to know that guy.
And I'm like, oh, what do I wear? What about this, that? Where do I go?
What do you do?
I was thinking like, how do I act? Like,
yeah.
They're
just like us.
But that's one of our questions later on. But anyways, we'll get to that later. But I mean, that's fine. That's good because we do that in general.
Gianmarco was hesitant.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too nervous for a first date. Like even when I was like really excited, like even when I would go out with my girlfriend for like the first time, like I wasn't nervous because I was just like confident and comfortable with myself. And I'm like, look, if she doesn't like me and understand me and accept me for me, then like
you didn't put pressure on yourself.
Exactly. Like
that's what people when I started dating again. That's what people said. Like just.
Be
yourself. His vibe, right?
You know,
and honestly, it helped a lot.
Yeah,
I think like I was still a bit nervous, but
there's always there's different reasons to be nervous for though. Right. You can be nervous more for like that, appearance. Yeah. First impression.
Do I have broccoli stuck in my teeth?
But it can
Do
also
you find
be more
them
for the conversation.
Yeah.
Right? It could be like, okay, like is it gonna be awkward? Is it gonna flow well? There's so many things.
Or also if you don't know the person.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Like I mean, for us, like I was nervous, but like we had a lot of context in terms of conversation before that first date.
But
like
English
on
class?
the actual date, no, but you know what I mean. Like we kind of already knew each other, but it's like on the date itself, you're gonna get nervous because now it's like
it's like
crap,
officially,
like
you're being
it's
more...
kind of like psychological, right?
You're putting like a title to it.
You're overthinking kicks.
You're like crap. Like no, I can't like. Say
you
something
actually
dumb,
have to
I mean?
impress them.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to kind of just relax right away.
But sometimes also, let's say you're meeting the person for the first. Are you good?
She's laughing at my reaction. Yeah.
I feel like when you're meeting the person for the first time, you being nervous is also adding like expectation because you have an idea of the person that's not actually. You don't know whether that's true or not, right?
Right.
Because you got excited through text, right? Yeah. But you don't actually know whether they're going to live up to your expectations or not. So it adds to the nervousness because you're in that zone of like, oh, they're really cool. So it's going to go like...
Which we spoke about in our last episode.
Did. So you want to go take a look at that. Did everyone answer?
No, I was going to say things are about to get real raw emotionally.
Oh, okay.
Like for me, a big thing was that I had terrible confidence issues and I would overthink, I would overinvest, and so I would stress myself out to the point of just the brink of madness just because I'm like, if I even do the wrong thing, if I hesitate, it's over type thing, and I put that pressure on myself. Yeah. And so it's why I would always stress out when...
And like so many people feel like
I feel like that happens a lot with guys though, because of, if we go back to previous, like we were saying, like we don't really, not a lot of men express their feelings. So it's like, there's so much suppression that when it comes to that, when it's someone that they're actually interested in, like you're going to throw in so much pressure on yourself because you're worried about everything else. Yeah. Right? So like it happens a lot, I think, in terms of in the male population more than people realize.
They just don't show it as much. I feel like
we're
in
good
general.
at hiding it.
Yeah, you're better at hiding.
We know how to hide our emotions.
It just comes off as you guys being assholes.
I don't know if we're good at hiding.
I'm talking about me.
I don't know about if it's
I don't know about that.
You're just internalized.
Yeah, it's very suppressed.
Yeah, or
but rather just like.
Oh, I tried to
just
hide it. It just
done.
Out.
I feel like
your
women...
eyes start switching if you hide it too much.
Yeah, they're like things all about.
I feel like women in general were focused on us being nervous rather than the guy them. Like
because you don't experience the guy.
Yeah, kind of.
Also, here's the thing about being nervous. So like, I work at.
Here's the thing. I love it.
So here's the thing about being nervous. It's everyone's gonna be nervous. So at that point, no one is nervous, right? It's
Yeah,
kind
we're
of
at
like
the
everyone's
same-
on the same playing field. It's like. So, like, when you go to the gym and everyone's worried, like, oh, it's my first time, everyone's going to be staring, no one cares about you.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all doing their own thing.
That's
right?
That's why
so
I don't
it's the same, it's kind
a
of the
huge
same thing.
perception.
It's like, you just go there and do your own thing. They're thinking about them, you're thinking about you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why, like, yes, there is a level of nervousness, but
You're
at
both
a
meeting
certain
each
point,
other
you're
for,
both,
getting to know
right?
each other.
Not
You're both
everyone
in the
can get
same
out of that
scenario.
mindset.
It's
Sometimes
just a matter
there's-
of getting out of that mindset, yeah.
I don't know. I'm considered professionally nervous. There is literally
Regular
other
nervous?
states
He never aced one interview.
Out of nervousness.
Like anxious or anxiety. Like you can get really
I will
like,
say there are
Yeah.
some people that are more prone to that,
Yeah.
right? Like it's the nature-nurture thing that I said,
Yeah.
right? If your nature is just to be nervous, then you're going to be more nervous,
Yeah.
right? Whereas some people
It
just have a
depends.
nature where they're just like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? So
Some
they
people
don't-
can trick their minds to kind of get over it, be like, okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna have fun, and they can talk
Yeah.
themselves to calm down.
Yeah,
whereas
they
some
can
people
convince
might not be
themselves,
able to do that.
Exactly.
No, I can't.
Yeah. It's okay, Apollo. Sometimes I'm like that too, so don't worry. I feel
It's,
you.
it's A-okay, but...
It's totally okay.
Your feelings are valid.
Yeah, exactly. But kind of like Nick said too, I feel like women vocalize that they're nervous. Like, I don't know if all women do that, but like you're going for, if you're meeting someone, I feel like I'll be like, oh, I was like kind of nervous for this or something. Like, I don't know, or guys won't do that as much. They won't be like, oh, I was nervous.
Yeah, we're not gonna go up to you and be like,
Like-
we're so nervous for this date, guys.
But then you see his back and he's like all white in the back and like a pits and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not nervous at all.
Go
No.
be prepped. We'll have a jacket, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
On the first date, you don't know this guy, and he just tells you, I am nervous as fuck, or I am anxious as like hell. Like,
Oh, you feel
how
like
would you
you're
react?
like,
I feel like
I
it
would-
would be a breath of relief, to be honest.
I feel like
Not
if they-
everyone
Not
looks
everyone
at it like that.
Yeah.
Right? Some
Depends
people like,
how
oh,
Yeah, but
you
it
want
depends if-
confident. It depends how you say. If you're like, you know, like super.
It does
Yeah, it's the way
it
you say
depends.
it.
It's
Yeah.
like
They can
if
get
you're
an
like,
ick.
Say it in a creepy way.
exactly.
You just like stuttering like hell.
Yeah, if you say it in a creepy way of like, oh, I don't know how to say it in a creepy way, but like, there's a way to
With
present
a lot of
it.
lack of confidence.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you're like shivering and you're like dropping
Yeah.
water.
Shivering. You told us before I'm nervous.
Not shivering, like shaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But exactly, but if you're just saying like, oh, I was kind of nervous to meet you because I haven't done this much or whatever, it just depends. If you're
Yeah.
confident in
For
your
sure.
answer, right?
Wording is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. I'm a firm sorry, I don't want to cut you off. I'm a firm believer of like, you can say anything to anybody. It's just how you say it.
And you can sell it as long as you say it the right
It's
way.
literally the charisma, you know, the confidence.
Get that voice cracking like a.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay, at that point, you just like turn around and you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I had a sub
Okay, go,
question. Would you guys be okay with the girl approaching you to ask you out on the date,
100%.
or is that
That's
turn
so
off?
attractive. That is so
Yes.
attractive.
That's one of the questions.
Yeah, it is.
1,000%.
That's how Carmen and I got together. She took the first step.
Carmen, girl.
Because I was overthinking, even though I was told she liked me, I was like, yeah, but does she really though?
If we go with like any single guy,
Yeah.
like no matter any girl that asks this, if let's say you're in a bar, whether you're with your group of friends,
Yeah.
or you're just chilling, whatever, after work, or whatever the case may be, if a female comes up to you and asks you out or takes
Yeah.
that initiative, 100% attractive, and it's
Really? Because
Yeah.
I've heard guys say that it turns them off.
But see,
What?
those
I've
are the
never.
people-
That's toxic masculinity.
Yeah, 100%.
Those are the guys that do not like hitting that
They
sensitive
may feel like
emotional.
demasculated.
Yeah. But those are the
Because
people
it's
that
like
are
a
just-
masculine
but-
trait to go
But
ask
to
or
be honest,
whatever.
like that's just,
It's not.
it
Okay,
doesn't-
cool.
I don't know
I
a
always
single
wonder
guy.
that.
A normal guy, like it's attractive. Like obviously to a certain extent, like it does.
If you're not into the person, you're not
Exactly.
just gonna go out with them
Right,
because they ask you
right.
out.
It is gonna obviously still determine
Yeah.
a little bit on the superficial things like physical attraction,
Yeah.
but just that alone will still give like bonus points. You know what I
Right,
mean?
if
It's
you're
kind of the
into
same thing like for a guy, like you know what I mean?
So at the end of the day, it kind of depends if the initial, like you're initially kind of attracted to them, whether it be personality wise or physically.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, simple.
Definitely turn.
Got the answer. I'm getting tips from this. I love it. Would you like it if a girl made the first move? So more like, I guess, like
So you're already
Same
on
thing.
the date
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
Same thing, yeah. It's the initial.
yeah.
Because you know the thing is, it again society, but it's always the guy who has to make the first move for
Right.
a lot of things. And when it shows that a woman, when a woman shows that she takes that initiative, then
Yeah.
it shows that she's actually just as interested as you probably are.
Okay.
And then for us as a guy, like it kind of instills that security in the sense that you know she's into you as well.
Okay.
Right? Because like if not, you're still like in the loom, right? Like is she 100% into me? You're kind of like, you know.
So you need that like physical
it's a confirmation.
affirmation.
It's a confirmation. It's not like necessity.
What if she told you I like you instead of kissing you?
No.
Are you sure?
It's more like why.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you can say you like anyone, right? But like, it's a matter of actually showing it that does determine what I like you means.
What if I get you a gift on our date?
My friend can give me a gift.
Why would you give someone a gift though?
No,
That's the 5 love languages. One is giving gifts.
So
I'd be like, I didn't do anything. I wasn't prepared.
I don't like gifts. I would be like,
it does create an
But what if it's something thoughtful? Like, let's say you love chess and you told her and she gets you a chessboard.
But no, but okay, what's the context we're looking at? Is this like in the beginning stage?
She's just thinking right now.
I'm just spitting out what's coming out. I'm just thinking in terms of, because you said like, oh, her making the first move confirms that she has feelings for me. But what if she confirms it in a different way? Is that not just as valid?
But what I'm saying is it depends on the context.
What if it was a
If we're talking about like first date, who's gonna get you a gift?
Not
What if
first
it's
date,
like a
like
comedic gift?
Yeah, true. I get what you're saying, because on the first date, to confirm it would be
But
the
the thing
kiss,
is,
I guess.
it's hard to say that. I think from no matter what standpoint we look at, whether it's like a guy's view or girl's view, just because
Society has made it that way too.
It's so contextual in terms of like, okay, how many dates are we looking at? How well do we know the person? Like if someone just shows up on my third date and they're giving me a gift, I'm gonna be like why? Because then at the same time, it's like from you. It makes it feel like us. We'd have pressure that we need to now return that favor.
Okay.
Right? So it's like
that's what Paolo said before. He said
it's more that saying it verbally or physically that's gonna make it. Yeah, it's cool. It's great. I would enjoy that, right?
Okay.
But like if we're talking about like from the love languages, it's a whole different.
That's like into the relationship.
Yeah. You have to be like you have to know each other to know how the others are, right?
True.
If you had asked me that question or like brought up that situation maybe a few years ago, you would have had me stressing out, be like, oh my god, do I have to actually get a gift?
Yeah.
even though you would have said, even though you said, no, this is something you don't do. In my head, I always be like, oh my god, what if you do?
I'm not making up like rules of the dating game here.
Don't bring gifts on first dates.
I get what you're saying, because like on a first date, the best way to show, I guess, or like from the girl's perspective to confirm to the guy or whatever.
Yeah. But like to answer your question very simplistically, let's say with first date, if she makes the move, 100%.
Because it's showing that she's okay. I get it.
Well, I was gonna bring up like this along those lines of like bringing a gift and people being different.
I got deep.
Right? No, but just to say, like some people appreciate like a bouquet of flowers on a first date, and some people don't. Like I've gone on dates with people that did want, and I've gone on dates with people that didn't.
Like, oh, I don't know you. Why are you buying me flowers for?
Right? Or they just outright say like, oh, I don't like flowers.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So,
you don't like flowers?
She's never thought of anything of it in terms of flowers.
I mean,
she doesn't
I
care.
like the look of flowers.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
know,
so
but
she likes flowers.
No, but what I'm saying, the first time I got her flowers, she was kind of just like, whatever.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah.
She just doesn't
She
know
was
how
like,
to
so what?
express
Say
it.
it.
No, she was like...
Kathy's silence is deafening.
Yeah.
Because expressing that you love it is an ick for Kathy, so she can't do it.
But that's the thing. I've learned over the years that she does thoroughly enjoy it, but in silence.
It's just
yeah.
I'm just
it
gonna
takes
admire
time to like...
For the aesthetic.
It
is for the aesthetic. Thank you,
She
Paolo.
loves your flowers.
it's a very bland room, so any color added to it.
Yeah. So we kind of touched upon this, but how long do you think the talking stage should be?
As long as it needs it to be.
Exactly. As long as it...
Some people could be a week.
Ooh,
some people
shit,
could
that's...
be 2 weeks.
I don't know about that.
Who knows, but...
What, like the talking stage, like either by text.
Talking is a stage?
Paolo with the jokes, of course.
That wasn't a joke. Like, genuinely, that's a stage?
Like,
Yeah,
no,
like when you're seeing each other before.
See, this is something I learned
Before
recently.
you go on a
when I
date.
Like, if you don't know
started
them and
Text.
you're gonna, like, meet up with them eventually and you're talking to get to see whether you want to meet up with them or not.
I've already
Okay,
mentioned.
so that's literally before the first date.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I interpreted
Like how long
Yeah.
are you gonna talk with them before you actually go on the date?
Yeah, before you ask them out.
And like I know I've already touched upon this, but like essentially like
Yes,
if it's not
Yeah.
like I would say give or take around 2 weeks, because the thing is the longer it drags on, then it's just like nothing's gonna really come from that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't show any investment from either side.
Yeah.
If you actually see something and you actually want something out of it,
Yeah.
or there is the interest, like who would want to wait like longer than they need to? Just be like, hey, let's.
If you're interested.
Yeah, like if I like you, you like me in the conversation as well. Like it could be after 4 days. Let's go out and do something, right?
Might be 2 days.
Yeah.
Exactly. A week.
But like,
Could be just like, oh, right away. There might not be a talking stage.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I like you. Do you want to go out? Sure.
Yeah.
But what would you
Right.
say to people that like talk for like months?
That might be
Shit or get off the pot.
I just think you have to just get out of your comfort zone and do it. Because like, if you're talking for that long, then there's definitely maybe a reason why you're not actually seeing them. It could be self-confidence, self-esteem, or like maybe that's just looking too deep into it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
there's
you
something
just
else.
want attention. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
But
of
that's
guys
the
do
thing,
that though. They're
probably.
just bored and they talk to people they're not interested
Well,
in.
girls do that too, right? Girls will
They
flirt with a
do.
lot of guys just because they like the attention, but they're not going to go anywhere.
Video games.
Right?
Yeah, like 100%.
I mean, I've been a victim of that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys have, right?
Yeah.
It
Okay.
goes both ways.
Cool, I
for
didn't look
sure.
at it from the other side. I
Yeah.
thought it was more of like,
But, like,
guys doing it
it's
to
just-
us.
cool.
We're the victims.
Sorry.
If it's like for months, like I just don't see a reason. Like it
It's like,
just
why are
there's
we
nothing
not
happening from
talking,
it. Yeah.
right?
Like if we're talking like if I have like a friend coming up to me and he's like, hey, I've been talking to this girl for 3 months. I'm gonna kind of like why? Like why is there nothing happening?
Yeah. I
Right?
get it.
And then it's gonna either come down to like, oh, like I don't know, right? Because then they really just generally don't know where it's
Yeah.
gonna go,
Yeah.
and then they don't know what to do with the conversation with the person themselves, and they just obviously.
Wouldn't it be a red flag though if the guy didn't ask the girl out? Yeah, because I feel like in general, or
Well,
you
so
think
back to
it
That's
depends.
societal. That's
It depends.
societal.
It
A girl
depends.
can ask-
I
Yeah.
know. True. He could be just as nervous.
And I
if
think
he
that's
was
also
waiting.
another reason why a lot of the talking stages go on. If the guy's not 100% confident or like not
Doing
100%
it?
sure,
Yeah.
then the girl's just gonna be waiting for the guy to do it, right?
Right.
Because that's kind of like
The mentality.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like that can be another reason too.
Yeah.
I pretty much agree with it. It's like
Yeah, it's,
1, maybe 2 weeks if you have like, school or like work or something
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
really
for
getting in the way. But it shouldn't really take that long because it's like, this is gonna sound really bad, but like, you either take the shot
Yeah.
or you move on to the next target.
Yeah.
Because it's like
No, but
you're wasting time.
Yeah, like you can easily make time out of your schedule for 1 day out of 7 within a matter of 2 weeks.
If you
Right.
actually want to see the person, then
Exactly.
you're gonna
I
make the
think you would
time.
make the effort, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're continuing the talking stage in person. That's the whole.
Exactly.
Like, so
Yeah.
it's the
It's
same
just a
thing. It shouldn't be
transition.
that
Yeah.
scary or anything. But I also think with dating apps now, that's why the talking stage, it isn't acceptable for it to be that long because there's so many options that you can easily just like swipe
On
to the next,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about that.
If there's honestly nothing
Are you being
better-
sarcastic?
No, I'm being serious. I've never
Okay.
been on a dating app.
Go on Hinge. It's nice.
Nah, I'm good.
But there's not as many people, so.
Unhinged.
Oh my god.
Nuts.
Okay. Next.
You won't have to because, hey, there's going to be a lot of people coming. Do you wait to text back someone you first start talking to?
What do you
What do you
Did I
mean?
say
Yeah.
that properly?
Yeah. So like, let's say you're texting. Is this like
Like
post?
the-
Just like
the-
immediate
the
separation,
time.
like, the number type of thing, and then like how long
No,
you
like if you're texting with someone, do you wait to text them back, or
Do you do it as
answer
soon
right
as
away?
you get the message,
I
or
have
do
a
you like
really
hard
bad
to
habit
get?
of answering right away.
That's me. It
Because I'm just
depends
like,
on people.
Don't
Yeah.
screw that.
But yeah, I don't think it's a bad habit.
No.
I think it just depends on the person.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, some people
Shows you're excited.
some people are not always near their phone.
But I mean,
As you said.
intentionally, like seeing the text and
And be,
purposely
like,
waiting.
pausing and like
Women
saying,
do that
like,
a lot
I mean, I do.
No, I don't. For me, it just
to not seem like available.
I mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
if
eager.
someone's excited, then I
a
think they'll
good
be
thing,
more apt
yeah.
to text back right away. Whereas
Yeah.
if someone might not be comfortable with that, so they're like, "Oh, I gotta think of something." Like I have this general idea of what I want to say, and they maybe want to figure it out.
Yeah,
If
true.
you're someone like me that types very formally and has a bunch of typos, then
Yeah.
it takes you 3 hours because you go through every letter to make sure it's correct.
But I think there's,
Every letter.
I think there's a
Every
huge
letter.
misconception of people texting fast though, because a lot of people are like, oh, maybe he's like too much.
It's like
right?
a turn
But
off.
the thing
it's
is,
not,
like,
yeah.
that's not necessarily the truth. Like,
Yeah.
just people can be near their phone and pops
Yeah.
off. They're gonna answer right away. Like for me, that's the way I am because I'm just. Why am I gonna ignore it?
Yeah,
I see the text, like I'm just gonna answer.
yeah.
But it doesn't mean that like I'm like overly clingy just because I'm texting. you.
Yeah,
So I
get
think
it.
that's another thing that's like super conceived because they just associate with like the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of conversations die out so quickly in a talking
Mm-hmm.
stage.
I think society has like romanticized like the toxic bad boy who doesn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah. And then the girls are like,
But
well, now
you know-
I'm going to make him wait type of thing.
yeah, well, yeah. A lot of people definitely do
like
that.
catch and run after thing
It's
is
so
just,
weird.
Yeah.
It's so outdated.
Because you know
It's
the
the
thing is,
worst.
like, I'm not gonna invest my time in running after.
And it's
someone.
kind of immature too. We spoke about
It
this
is.
too.
Yeah. It's very high
It's either
school.
you show me that you actually want to have the conversation, or like I'm just not
Like,
gonna.
Effort needs to
Here,
go both
let's
ways.
let's get real here, guys. I'm almost 30 years old, right?
Oh, whoa.
Okay, you're not old. Like,
I'm gonna hit
relax.
30.
You're still young.
No, but let's put this in further context. I have a bunch of friends that are married. I have friends that are having kids, right? So like, I don't have time to do the chase thing. It's either a yes or a no, and we move
Either
on
we're
with our
having
life.
kids or we're getting married.
Either you're
let's
in
not go
it
like we're-
or you're not.
No, either you're interested and we're gonna keep this going,
Right.
or you're not.
You don't
And
have
then,
time
you know,
to
we
just,
move
like-
on.
Right.
And that's totally okay. Either way.
I see nothing wrong with that, even at like,
Our age.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I
Cause
feel like
you're-
that the
yeah.
chasing is very high school behavior. Like you're just doing it for fun
Yeah,
at that
you
can
point.
be
You're not really
aloof.
like.
And
be
I think
cool.
people assume like, oh, through high school, like you can't be, or whatever, CJEP, you're still in
Yeah.
your time, but you could just be as serious as
Yeah.
you are in your 30s.
But I think
or
it goes to
whatever.
what you said. It's like the whole bad boy vibe that's been
It's, like,
so heavily
romanticized,
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
like so heavily like
All these
attractive
Hollywood
to a lot of
movies.
women.
Right, it's pop culture, media, all
Yeah,
that.
but like, and the thing is, like, that kind of like has that effect on dating in general,
Yeah.
right? Because you're looking for something, even from you're trying to get something out of a person, even when you know you're not going to get it out of them, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna also try and force it, type of thing, by, let's say, for example, girls will do the waiting game,
Yeah.
wanting to get chased
yeah,
by the guy who doesn't want them, quote unquote, right?
yeah.
So it's like it's too much.
So in general, guys
No
would
time
answer
for that.
right
There's
away.
No time for that.
Usually guys answer right away, I guess. Yeah.
There's obviously a just like
Unless they're busy.
unless
or
there's an
whatever.
actual valid reason as
Yeah.
to why you can't answer right away, then yeah. Like, I mean, I don't see an issue.
Unless they're taking
Text
time off
full-
from
full
whatever.
sentences, you
No,
know,
I have a
few
bad
minutes.
habit. No matter what I'm doing, I'm gonna answer.
Answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the same thing. I'll answer right away,
if
and
you-
it's
I can't
if you
leave
were to
someone
share a group
hanging.
chat-
I
if
have
you share
a bad
group chat-
habit of not answering.
Oh yeah,
There
100%.
you go.
I'm like that
There
way.
you go.
So.
But our group chat, like, if we're all like on the same page, like someone would send a message, and then the moment that first message is sent,
Yeah.
once everyone
Pop,
sees
pop,
it,
pop.
then next thing you know, it's like a 40-hour, like 40
my-
hours of just going back and
Oh
forth.
Yeah.
damn, okay.
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
we
That's
do
We
not
just have
sleep.
like quick texters here.
We do
Yeah.
not sleep for the
I
next
mean,
40 hours
is maybe a bit much, but
we
no,
leave-
like
we
I said,
leave
like
it
if
on
we're all
scene and then
online
we-
and we're all have our
Yeah.
phones and we're
Yeah.
able
Like,
to
it's
do it,
happened,
like
it's happened before. Like, let's say we'd be talking like at 6.
Yeah.
That conversation would still be going on to like maybe like 9 or 10.
Do you think
To figure
this
out the- yeah, to
applies-
It would
Finalize
slow
the
down,
plan.
but like
Yeah.
everyone's still involved.
We only text like that if like someone's telling us
As
some
a
juicy
story?
gossip.
We need to support them. If not, we just scene and then
Yeah, we're
that's
like-
it.
Guys, did you see that new Jurassic World trailer? And then we just pop, 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 pop,
That
pop.
was literally me, though. That was one of our conversations
Yeah.
too. Like, it's the most random thing, but like
Yeah.
once we're all there, we just
Yeah.
So do you think this is specific? So you guys would answer quickly, or in general, men would?
It does depend on certain guys.
It
but I
depends,
think-
obviously,
Depends.
but-
I think
like,
it-
we're maybe the
for
ones
us-
But
like-
you don't care as much as to
No,
like wait and
exactly.
like. Okay.
Yeah.
It's more, I guess, the women who like
Yeah.
read into.
And also, I hate seeing notifications on my phone.
oh my god,
It's like an
I get
ADHD
that.
or
Like
like
the
OCD
one,
thing.
the
Yeah.
one, like the
yeah,
red.
like no, like I need it.
I
Like,
hate
even,
that.
Like,
Me too.
LinkedIn, like I'll get LinkedIn like missed notifications.
That's why I
I'm
read
like, I
it
just
and-
gotta swipe it out. Like I
Yeah.
can't. I don't
I
like.
get
You turn your
I get
phone
you.
over, just like, I'll deal with you later.
Yeah.
So for you personally, do you think it's a turn off if they're not reciprocating those texts?
Quickly, like
Depends.
taking too long.
For example, with you, I know how
She's
you are.
your girlfriend.
No, but like
okay?
I know how she is, right? So it's different. Like even in the beginning.
But like
Yeah.
at the beginning, let's say.
in the beginning we would talk, and then like obviously when
Because you're excited, like
Yeah.
so you should.
it was
be
both
answering.
new for us, so we were. She would even text like often.
Yeah.
But the thing is, obviously, as time got on and we're like more comfortable in terms of where we were at,
Yeah.
then obviously, yeah, she stopped responding because she doesn't like to text. But
Yeah.
it's not like I was gonna be like, hey, like, answer me.
Yeah,
Doesn't like-
because you
you
don't
know?
have to convince them as much anymore. You don't have to convince them as
It's
much
the long
anymore because they
nails-
know
it's
who
the
you
long
are.
nails,
Yeah.
Nick. She has trouble
takes
typing,
time,
so that's
listen.
why.
But yeah, no, like I mean,
Booked and busy. Okay.
I think in the beginning, no matter what, I think it is essential
It
to
shows.
have because it's the reciprocation of
Yeah.
effort and interest, and then obviously once you get to know someone's vibe
Yeah.
and how they actually do feel, and you can express that.
So it's kind of like a thought for you guys that pops in that you're like, oh, she's not.
Why
really
isn't she
texting
answering?
me.
Why is it
100% for
taking
me,
3
like-
hours?
Like, especially in high school.
You're like, shit, did I say something wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, yeah, you're like, wait,
I
did
feel
I
like,
do
oh my
it?
God,
should I use the comma instead of a semicolon?
Oh my god.
Would you be turned off if a girl you're into double texted?
No.
Are
I
you
feel
talking
like that's
to?
a misconception. Like, what's the matter?
Who cares, right?
I think that's like
it depends.
I think that's
People
kind
do
of
that.
like old though because I send like sentences separately in separate texts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not like let's say it's someone you mean like someone you're seeing like you're interested in,
that's
you're
just
like
habit.
dating?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it depends. Yeah.
Someone might
Like
press
silly
shift
text.
enter to do a new line. Someone might just press enter and send.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I just
It's more on a computer.
I don't
than
get
a
it.
phone.
It's
I
not
just
even
realized.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
it's
I don't
just
know.
double
how you
It's the
get
dumbest
there
thing
on your
ever.
phone.
It is dumb. What is
Dumb.
this?
Like, it's so stupid.
Why is dating so
You're like,
hard?
oh no, they sent another sentence after.
Shit, I'm done with her.
Yeah, like, too clingy. No thanks.
Wow,
Like,
two
But
ideas.
that's just, I think
Nah.
that's what women think though in general. That's like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
look super clingy
Clingy.
because it's like the bad boy that doesn't care,
I mean,
so I can't
as-
look too clingy.
How did you feel? Because I double text all the time. It's
Oh,
just,
I don't notice.
because you know what the thing is for me.
I didn't even notice the text.
I didn't answer till tomorrow.
Oh my god. That's not what I mean.
Oh my
No,
god.
but like like for example, like if you're having a conversation, you'll say one thing, and be like, oh, okay, like
I
this
forgot
to say
this,
You
yeah.
said it again. Like, what's the
Yeah.
matter, right?
True.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that makes so it's okay to care, and you don't have to be like nonchalant.
No, it's important to care.
Yeah.
Like it's not okay. It's important to care.
I feel like these situations happen more in like, let's say, a very immature situation, like high
Right.
school, early
And you have that
college.
mentality.
Yeah, because you know
It's
the
not
thing
as
is-
experienced.
Exactly.
Yeah, just,
And they're not
getting
confident
old, so
and they're,
thinking
like-
too much, and they're like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was me in high school all the time. Like you
I
said,
feel
any
this
text
is like
you
a
sent
self-care
yeah,
talk.
but like any text you sent to a girl, you're like, holy
Feel
crap, like man,
love.
she's doing wrong, she's not answering, and it would be like 30 minutes. and
Yeah,
you're freaking out.
it also
Yeah.
talks about your
Literally,
security.
like,
with
15
it.
minutes.
You're like 30 seconds later, I'm like, well,
There
I
goes
wish I
that.
could delete
There
this
goes
so
that.
you
And
won't
hold
see
on.
it.
Literally, for me, it's like, I
Message
fucked up.
on Facebook.
You realize you didn't even click send,
And then you get that text back, and you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. Would you give your partner your passcode to your phone?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
already done this.
Same.
she knows mine. Like
I would
No
even, yeah.
issues with
I would
that.
even give her like the fingerprint back. 'Cause I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
my
this is
You have
crazy.
nothing to hide, but wouldn't you question like the trust? Like, oh, you don't trust me?
No.
I mean,
If
if
they
I have
don't
her
get it?
password.
Yeah.
You know, see, the way I look at it,
No, if they do, like, if they don't want to give it, like,
Yeah.
why?
See,
Or
like,
why do you need to know the
the
password?
thing for me is also being in the position where I was, like, let's say in high school, a lot less, confident or whatever. It's easy to understand why someone could be upset about it, but, like, I'm not going to make it a big stink, right? Like, I don't mind giving it up. So it's like, you have to understand the person's past, but for the most part, no.
So you wouldn't be annoyed if your
It
partner's
doesn't bother
like,
me. I just have games on my phone anyway.
No, I see they're gonna see the games, they're gonna see my memes, my video game
My
pictures,
dry
pictures of my
messages
food.
only to
Yeah.
her, like.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
my girlfriend knows my password, and it's not like I didn't tell her. It's just like I did tell her because she was like, I need to use your phone because hers wasn't working, and she's like, I need your password, and I was like, I was driving, and I'm like, well, the fuck do I care, right?
Yeah.
Like I live with her. I'm not. What am I gonna hide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I refuse to give it, I don't want to cut you off. It's like if I refuse to give it, it's because like I have something to hide, and
Personally, I just got annoyed of having to do it all the time, so like I don't care.
But could it be a privacy thing? Like, it's just like, even though you're with your partner, could you still want those like boundaries?
That's great.
No, because you know the thing is, my privacy is not my phone. My private
Okay.
time is like
Privacy.
I'm like
Okay, it
in my
depends.
room, like doing what I gotta do. Like for example,
Now
like,
I'm cracking up.
for example, for me, like downtime is playing video games. Like that's my private time. It's not on my phone. Like
Okay, I get it. It depends what you.
Yeah.
So when I lie down on the floor in complete darkness just to meditate.
You're so weird.
in a pool of your tears.
Paolo, what about you?
I don't personally mind it.
Yeah.
Like I do get a little hesitant just because like I have a lot of like stupid group chats with like internet friends, so it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
not that
that's
I don't
fair.
want anyone to see. Yeah, I don't want it to see. It's just
Yeah.
it's not that. It's more like you're just gonna see how to what an extent of a loser I am. So it's like
Jesus.
Stop it.
we're debating
No,
like in a
imagine
group chat. We're
Discourse.
debating like superpowers and what's the
That's
best.
not-
thing.
Are you giving us this conversation?
Yeah, it is. It is the best
With
conversation.
Magic, or just, and I'm in all of them just talking about this one card, and like, oh man, imagine if it said this, oh, it'd be really cool in this deck, and that. It's something you like. That's okay.
Exactly.
For me, it's like coming down to
crazy.
arguing continuity and why this one book in like let's say the 80s should matter more than a book
Valid
coming out
reasons.
in
Yes,
2001.
okay.
It's not intellectual.
It's an actual conversation.
Yeah,
though.
there's
That's
nothing
what
wrong
matters.
with that.
For me, so like I feel weird having that being seen like there. So that's why it's like
It's a personal
It's
thing.
okay
Yeah.
to be yourself. That's exactly
Yes.
what this tattoo means to me.
We love that.
All right. Okay. Okay. So next question: do guys get icks from girls?
All of it. Yeah, I mean, same thing like you guys.
What's an example?
What
Do you know
What are
what ick
icks to
is?
you guys?
Smoky?
Ooh.
Disgusting.
So it's like something. A turn off, but it's like something
I
like
don't know what that is.
Like a small, like
It's
a subtle
really
mannerism.
tiny.
Yeah.
Chewing gum with the mouth open.
But that's kind of like the smoking thing, no? Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
But-
my sister, sorry, my brother, messed up the show. Gives me the X, yes.
Oh my god, I'm getting attacked on my own podcast.
Like, I mean, everyone's gonna have icks, right? Like,
Yeah. Okay, other examples though, like specific icks, like just things
Bad
that like,
hips.
ooh,
What?
Is it bad hips?
Honestly, they smell bad. Like,
Damn.
they
Smell?
bad,
Okay.
right?
But
The same
that's
thing
more
goes
a
for
turn
guys.
off.
Turn
That's
off.
not really an ick.
But should we define what
Define
it is? I
it.
get
Yeah.
know what it is.
Just
Like,
like
how
what
would
ick
we
means.
define it? Like, I don't know how to define it.
I literally
Should
saw a
like,
TikTok on
Google
this
it?
yesterday, but like people have that ick like when guys do baby talk. Like when they go like, I'm
Was it
sorry.
Ew,
that
who the
just-
fuck just
I don't know.
Man, is that? Okay, those
Oh,
are
But
toxic
it's just like,
masculinity.
No, I'm sorry.
some
I'm
weird
sorry.
fetishes.
Honestly,
So
yeah.
is this something you don't like?
it's something that
It's
like
not official,
It's not,
yeah.
it's not a turn off, but it's like something that someone does
Cringe.
randomly.
You'll
You kind of
cringe
just like
that
don't
you're
do
like,
it again type of thing.
You'll cringe at
You
a
go like,
little.
ugh. That's your
Like-
reaction.
I'll be real. I don't know if there is one for me. Like I've ever
I've
encountered
never
that.
thought of this before. Like,
Yeah.
I've never
I never
heard
kept
this
track
before.
of me
Like,
going,
oh,
ugh.
sorry.
It's. I feel like it's the
You don't have
term
an
is
ugh
more new.
notebook?
Yeah.
No, I
Nick,
don't.
you're like, ugh. Okay, so you're gonna write that
Yeah, like, I know like when you see something, ugh, like, right?
Well, let me add
But
this.
no,
Document
you
it,
just
take a
know-
Millennial
picture.
definitions.
June 10th, 4 a.m. Found a new ick.
No, you just know that.
Sorry, okay. I'm gonna go too far.
Like for
I'm
example,
good.
when a guy calls you like sweetie or like sweetheart when he just met you.
Okay.
Like that's an ick.
Pet names?
Yes, like
Hell
it's not
yeah.
really official. It's just little things that people do that think are attractive but are not.
Yeah,
kind
but
of.
it's
Like, I
very
don't know.
personal to you. Like
Yes,
you'll
it
get
just-
like an ick from it.
I almost thought of something and you finish that sentence and I'm like, no, that doesn't count.
Say it. Tell us.
I think it's probably more along the lines of a pet peeve, but if I see my name misspelled, like that bothers
Okay.
me a lot.
Okay.
But it's not an ick.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. It's more something. Yeah, it's like a turn off kind of.
For me, I
Ish.
just haven't encountered that yet. Just because it's like
I don't.
I don't put thought into a lot of things.
But you do.
Yeah, but you do. But you think about everything.
For other people.
Yeah, but you're.
For myself, yeah, obviously. I mean, but
Okay.
like other people, I just like.
See, that's the thing. I probably encounter it more like upon myself than I do in other people too.
Yeah.
I did think of one. I think that might qualify. Jumping onto mics. And this isn't just with girls. I think this is with just people like anybody.
Yeah.
It's whenever they don't capitalize the first letter of a first name.
I hate that.
Like I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry if you're does like no. So I don't know if you do. I don't know if you don't. But it's just like if you're gonna speak to someone and like write out their name, like okay, a spelling error can happen, but like a capital letter takes 2 seconds.
Typing styles, like it
is.
trend. Like texting, some people will text in all like small lowercase.
Like
there
back
you
in
go.
high school where they would say, how are you? It would just be how
Whereas-
are. and
No,
then
not
you.
even that. But yes, but just
Yeah.
like
Well, then
Everything
I
would
mean,
be-
we know someone that just types entirely in capital letters. Whenever
Oh,
they're
that's
typing
scary.
In
I've
in
never
a
heard
Word
of that.
document.
Is it your mother?
Yes.
oh wait.
Oh shit.
Every time I go to use our family computer, I start typing.
Yeah.
Everything's in caps.
Oh my
Everything.
god, she wants
But
to
yeah,
get the
A
message.
lot of
through.
emphasis.
Yeah, there you go.
Apparently.
Okay, that's an ick. Kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
So I feel like men do have icks, but they don't
don't know
realize
what it
that they
is.
have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought of one.
100% because all of us.
And this again applies to anyone. Don't touch my knees.
Oh,
Because we have
okay.
knee problems. Like, the whole table.
I
here
think that's
has
a
knee
pet peeve.
problems,
I don't think
but
that's an ick.
But it really just like I get like
You
a
like, ugh.
icky
Oh.
feeling.
Okay.
Icky feeling. I understand
Icky
it now.
feeling.
Whenever someone gets
Okay,
close to my knee,
yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
So it could. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I get it.
How do you get Mike? Do you want to do that again? And that's your thumbnail for the video.
Oh my god, yeah, we have to take thumbnails
Shit,
after.
okay.
Okay, next
Go.
question. What's the best way to go about letting down someone who's interested in you, but you don't reciprocate those feelings?
Honestly,
Never had that option.
Honestly,
It was the opposite.
rip the band-aid off.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Just
Rip the band-aid off and
It's
be
better,
100% honest.
it's better to be direct, obviously in a respectful manner, but it's better to just be direct and be straight up rather than, having the whole
leading them on.
Yeah,
Just like,
exactly.
hey, you know what? I'm already
Because-
feeling this, so.
But I think that also in our mentality goes with the sense that like us, we're not already gonna be chasing anybody, right? Like even if we weren't dating, we're not gonna be chasing people, right? So it's like at the same time, like if we're not gonna be invested in someone, we're just gonna be like, look, sorry, this is not gonna go anywhere, right?
Because there's not a big
Yeah,
attachment.
exactly.
So-
Because we know that like, look, no one doesn't want to go through the whole games and runarounds of like figuring out where do you stand,
Yeah.
right? So it's just straight up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just direct.
I can't. I just I just try to preserve the person's feelings so much. I'm like dancing around.
Do you
but,
kind of like distance yourself?
Not even.
Or
I
just
just
not?
try to like.
See,
Okay.
they-
Hold on,
Next
I'm a
time-
little busy.
Next time that this is probably not gonna happen, but if ever, right? Just let me know. I'll help you out.
Alright.
I'll send a message.
He's an expert.
He'll do his ick.
I am an expert according to my sister.
Sounds good.
Okay, moving on. This is the last question. So how long does it take for men to fall in love?
Wait, and how do you think they fall in love? Like, what is it? Like, how?
Wow,
That's
a
so.
big question.
It's
It's the
like,
last.
that's-
Think about
Wanna
it.
hear
Yeah,
your
let
thoughts.
it simmer.
That's like so dependent
that's
on every type of person.
I
Right?
think that's entirely dependent person to person.
Because the thing is,
Right.
any person,
And
guy or girl, can
How
fall
long-
in love in
okay.
different ways.
Flip it. How long do you think it takes people to admit it?
When you know, like it's not something.
it's probably something
Some
like
people
that.
can fall in love and they know they're in love after years. Some people can know after a couple weeks, right? Like you see those stories of people that like they'll be dating someone for like a month and they're already getting married, right?
Yeah.
And then they can end up having a successful marriage for like 15
Then
years,
they call my mom.
right? But like not everyone's like that. Some people they're gonna only know later on, right? It's so subjective.
I think
because
it depends on the individual person. It depends on their
The relationship,
It
yeah.
depends on so many things, and I think it's exactly what you said. It can take
How do
weeks,
they
months,
fall in love?
years.
though? Is there like
I think that
just
too
happens.
is.
But
some-
you can fall in
something
love
that
for different
depends.
reasons.
Yeah.
okay, so
Right,
it's
like-
dependent.
You can fall in love with someone depending on what they bring to the table or the way they make you feel or based on like how you are when
The
you're
way
with
they
them,
cook your
conversations.
eyes.
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, there's an X number amount of things you can fall in love with someone, right? It doesn't have to be just one thing. There's not like, because the thing is like when it comes to relationships, it's not just one way that you can love,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So it's the same thing when you're falling in love. You're not going to
It's
fall in love for
fine,
just
right?
one thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
But you know what I mean? Like it's so dependent on everyone's difference. Like it's not something we can give out in terms of like advice to anybody.
Yeah.
Like
It's just when you know it.
I think if there was an equation to this whole thing, I would probably be one of the people that would know this because I'm a math nerd. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to
Okay.
Figure out
figure
the answer.
that out, figure that yet.
I mean, Carmen and I literally said I love you almost 2 weeks in practically.
Yeah. So
Like
really depends.
it really,
Yeah, me it was like 3 months in.
it really depends.
It's
Like
different.
I
for
tell
me
my
personally, it's a
parents I
lot of
love
the
them
little
every day.
things. And yeah, I know it's.
I think the biggest thing though is like when it's like there when you're feeling happy when you're with them. You know what I mean? Like when there's that sense of euphoria when their name is there or
Staying
when you're
on
with
trend.
them.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I
You're
mean?
like,
Like
excited or
when
happy.
you know that you're willing to do
Nick, you're so
changes.
passionate with
No,
this.
because when it comes to relationships, like it's obviously super super important, right? And the thing is, it comes down to a very emotional level.
You're so hot when you talk.
No, but like but that's honestly what it is. It's like there's a feeling inside you that's gonna just know, right? Like that light bulb is gonna tick. You're just gonna know that everything feels right. It's kind of everything falls in place. you
Like
know
if
what I mean?
if the person matches your needs, then
I wouldn't even be so
probably-
much in needs. You can be completely different people, right?
Yeah,
In terms of
true.
needs, right? But it's like what it is when you're with them,
Yeah.
right? Like for example, like if you're always happy just being with them, or you'll do whatever you can to be with them.
yeah.
Like already in that sense, like you're already willing to do what it takes to be with that person, right? In literally physical form. So like then it just comes down to the emotional side of things in terms of how you feel with them.
Okay, cool. Pretty good answer.
I would say for me, it was like the thing that made me realize it is when I wake up in the morning and if I know something is happening, but my thoughts are still like, okay, I can't wait to see her.
Yeah.
That's when I know.
Aw.
Cute.
It's a Carmen. That's you.
Literally, it's like I said Wednesday. It's like, oh, it's comic book day. It's like, oh, like, I can't wait to see Carmen.
Aww.
I think another big attribute to that is like when something big happens in your life, they're gonna be that first person you think of.
Yes.
Right? Like, big news. Like, for example, you get a huge job promotion. You're not even going to want to tell your parents first, right? Mm-hmm. First person you're going to want to go to is that one person. Because they're that important to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, literally, that's how I do my news now.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's the same concept of, like, you know, if you wake up thinking of them, you go to bed thinking about them. Like, you know, obviously it's, like, cheesy to say it, but, like, it is something that happens, right? At the end of the day. What about you?
No, it's you guys pretty much covered everything on
Personal,
that.
though.
No, it's I don't know.
How was it for you?
Like, how did I know?
He took over our podcast.
No,
Asking the question.
how did I know? Like,
Look at me. Look, I am the interviewer.
I'm the captain podcast. I'm the podcast. I knew when it would just be like every time I'd see her, it was just like, boom, problems gone. All problems. Like, you know, yeah. And it's not even like, you know, problems at home, problems at work, and you're just like, you go home and you're just like, I can, it's a sense of comfort, and it's like, especially for me now, it's I go home and I go home to her, and it's just like, I go home and I'm comfortable, and I'm like, I'm myself. I'm like, I'm more myself now than I was when I was living with like my parents' house, right? Like, I'm purely myself, and she, I hope to be, is like purely herself. Yeah, like a best version of ourselves, and we're so comfortable with it. And it's like, that's when I knew I loved her, because it's like I would be stressed, I'd be tired, I'd be this and that, but then I get home and like I'll take this week into like this, not even this week, like this month, like I've been doing 10-hour days at work, okay, like, and working Saturday, like I worked this morning, I'm gonna be working tomorrow morning too, and it sucks, right? But I think it's necessary for me to do it to advance in my career, and I know that she's there, okay, and supporting me through it, and I know that when it's the reverse, I support her through it, you know. So no matter how difficult it gets through the whole day, no matter what happens, it's like we come home knowing that there's like, not only are we safe because we're in our home, but we're safe because we have each other. And that's when I knew I was just like, exactly, and that's when I knew I loved her, and I was just like, I can tell her anything, I can just be as open, and yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
Hope. Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay, I asked my question. Okay. Should a guy pay on the first date or on dates in general? Was it?
Skipped it.
Yeah.
Okay, because this one I've been wanting
This
to
is
know.
question number 8.
Here's the thing. First date,
In general, I guess.
in general, I think it depends on person, right?
Yeah.
For
Or
me,
maybe first date. Let's try.
like, if it's a first date,
Yeah.
without a doubt, the person who should be paying is the one asking.
Yes,
Okay.
I was just saying.
Because if you're the one initiating it, then, you know, you should, whether you're a guy or girl, you should be the one paying it, because you're the one bringing it up.
Yeah.
And I think it's only fair that way, right? Because you're making that push, that step, right?
You know, because the other person like didn't have plans to like go for dinner.
Yeah,
on
exactly,
Fridays,
like-
you want to make the plans with them. So it's
But you
like-
agreed to go on it.
No, you can't expect them to pay, like,
I think the offer should be there
because
Like,
you're
Yeah.
inviting them.
Like-
I'm inviting you to dinner, so it's okay. I'll take care
I'll
of
take
it.
care of it this
right?
time.
But, like,
If
at the
you
same
wanna,
time,
like,
if there's-
split it or do
Yeah.
otherwise,
Do you
Okay.
believe in splitting the bill?
100%.
yeah.
Why
You
not?
do?
Why
Yeah?
not?
Everyone
We split all the
at
time.
my age, everyone has a career. Everyone's working. Everyone's doing.
It's not just
their
that,
own
But
It's
it's
thing.
a date.
It's like,
What
because
if you
here's the
want
thing.
the person to like take you
If
out?
it's the first one, if
That's
the
why
I
he
feel
wants
like you
to
can
watch
go
it.
on.
Hold
get taken out.
Hold on.
Yeah,
See, here's the thing.
either person.
Those are the type of people, like I mentioned before, are the high maintenance people seeking it from
Are
others.
they high maintenance?
But why do I have to treat you? Why can't I be treated, right? That's the same concept of why can't we
Okay.
split it? Right? Why is it I'm the why is it,
This is
no, because in that
conversation,
situation
yeah.
in that situation one person is benefiting more than the other. Honestly, let's
I think it
about
depends our mindset going into the date, though. If you're
yeah,
like,
but what I'm saying is just like in that term of like what you were saying, that comment of like treating, why does one person have to get treated more than the other?
I mean,
Right?
if the relationship continues, you might get treated too.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is if it's not, then you're kind of one person's getting
You're
left
getting-
out.
I feel
You're
like
getting
very attacked right now.
But it look, I'm just saying it in a very I'm talking about it very generally. It depends on the conversation. If you agree with it, it's fine.
Yeah, of course.
Let's put numbers to this, right? If
Shit,
you
we're
give
getting heated
100% of yourself into a date, don't
Yeah.
you want 100% back? You don't want someone to just be like, okay, they're gonna do everything, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be there like, haha.
See, like for example, in the beginning,
It's
it would be like, let's say sometimes I would pay everything, and then the next time she would pay.
But I think
Yeah.
she's not saying it in like an expecting way. She's saying more like, I'm still gonna give the offer, but in my mind, I want you to pay.
Okay, no, hold on. If you
But
do
see,
not-
if you're thinking,
discussion.
okay. Let's
now.
talk about
I don't like that way of
finance
thinking.
Because you know what it is? Okay, I don't know how to word this properly, but okay, I've watched
Societal
videos
pressures,
about it.
yes.
But
If you
No,
insist
because
to pay
women were
consent, I
explaining-
think it's okay.
women were explaining how because we're taking part in the like patriarchal like society and like courting, you know, like men courting women, whatever, they should be the ones to like pay and like get you stuff or treat you or whatever. This goes back to like the other
6 questions where we dealt with this, where it's just,
true.
Right? Like
it's
we would be okay with being asked out and being courted ourselves, right?
So like, why can't we get? See, here's the thing: is a lot of the times in relationships, whether they're newer or older in terms of like era-wise, the men are always the ones often being, I guess, less not rewarded, but you know what I mean, like. They're getting less of the benefit because everything's being put. Like I'm saying in terms of like, let's say if like the girls are expecting the guy to pay for everything, to buy them all the gifts, all the expensive gifts, and the guys aren't.
Everything.
No, what I'm saying is if that's the expectation. I'm saying if that's the expectation, then that guy is suffering in the relationship because he's not getting the same value back.
Unless your love language is giving gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like, but like I'm speaking very broad. I'm speaking very broad because it can be mutual like understanding between two people that's how that relationship works. Yeah. But what I'm saying is if it's an expectation that's not communicated, then that's an issue.
Yes. I think communication is key.
I think out of experience, like I've paid for every first date I've been on, pretty much. Yeah. And I don't mind, and I didn't mind at all. Okay, but what would bother me, and like this would be like if we were going to a restaurant, if we were just doing a coffee, like you know, sometimes it's a $10 thing, a coffee and whatever, like, and sometimes it's like, oh, okay, let's go get a bite to eat, and you're like, yeah, 40, 50, 60 bucks, whatever, and it would be like, at least do the dance. At least do the be like if exactly. So if like the waitress comes by and be like, or waiters rather, either or comes like, oh, you know, I'm like, okay, no, just one bill is fine. Okay. When we get the bill, if they just leave it on the table, like, and I'm gonna take it first, and I'll take it right away.
But if there's no like action from the other side.
Yeah, you definitely have to be like, oh no, you don't have to, like, you know, like definitely make.
So that you.
Okay. See, I'll still pay whether you.
So if it's the expectation that turns you off.
Exactly. So if it's a like not it's a test, but at the end of the day, if you were just like, okay, yeah, you asked for one bill.
If you're not actually willing to like pay yourself or offer, because like here's the thing: there's a lot of girls that will do even like the little sneaky trick of like, oh, I don't have money on me because you know I'm expecting you to pay. Yeah. A lot of girls do that, right? I don't know what kind of girls are going. But then the thing is like, I don't know what kind of girls can still go. Yeah. No.
But okay, so why is it that it may bother you if the woman doesn't like try to make? Is it because you want to? Is it showing that she's not financially stable or like she's a gold digger? Like
no, but it's just it kind of comes off as rude, right? Like it's because it's like going
manners.
Because you know what the thing is like if we're gonna go out, let's say a lot like majority of the time throughout a year, if only one person's expected to pay it, it's kind of shitty. And the thing is, you have to understand too, right? If people have responsibilities, all that time going out, whether it's dinners, whether it's movies, it can be something small or something big, it adds up at the end of the day. And when that's not shared in terms of an understanding, knowing that not one person can carry all that burden, it's kind of like crappy. It's shitty to do that to someone, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, right? Like the thing is, I know someone specifically, one of my friends that I know from growing up, dating someone who always expected everything from him. He didn't have money. Yeah. And the thing is, it put him in a financial hole because of that expectation.
Why did he do that?
No, but he would say it. But like the thing is, it's her that's always still seeking the things from him instead of seeking out from herself, right? Okay. So that's obviously something he needs to deal with in terms of breaking it off or communicating even more. But it still happens, right? The thing is, like, you just want to feel a reciprocated respect. Yeah. Right? Like, I mean, I don't mind if I pay for everything, right? If I know I can do it, I'm going to do it. Yeah. But at least say that you don't mind offering to do it.
Yeah. Right? I think women in general, why they feel as though, like, the men should pay is because they feel that men are more benefited in the dating world.
I feel like, they need to feel like they're taken care of, right?
Here's the issue.
How are men benefiting more than women in the dating world? Like I'm like, and I'll even like take it out of it and like out of the dating world. Like if you're at a bar or at a club, like I have a twin sister, so when we were younger, we'd go to clubs a lot because we had a lot of the same friends. I would drop like that $150 between the drinks for myself, for my friends, for other girls. Yeah. Plus the taxi home, and I'd get nothing out of it, but the pure joy of like, you know what, I don't mind doing it. And then my sister would not spend more than $5 because she would be able to get the whole night with it. Like people would buy her drinks.
Abusing the way it works in terms of the guys coming to them, right?
So like, why is it like you can't like? I don't think.
I personally don't like. I'm not seeing it that way, but I think that's what I've heard a lot. Like women just feel as though like men are benefiting from getting the woman more than the woman getting the man. Like I don't know.
Because you know the thing is, I feel like a lot in terms of the way society is, a lot of the men are not being like given the reward in that way. Like I mean, it's always the guy doing the most for the girl, not the other thing.
It's men are valued for what they can offer,
what they can provide.
Exactly. What they can provide, and that's an old school mentality of the man works. The woman stays home, cooks, cleans, takes care of the kids. So it's perpetuated into a dating scene where like the man has to provide for everything. And that, frankly, we're trying to be more equal with everything, right? So I think that there's the expectations that men always have to pay, right? It goes kind of both ways, right? Like that shouldn't happen as much, right? I will offer and I will insist to pay. That's what happened, right? On a first date that I went on, I offered, I insisted, and she went, no, we'll split it. It's okay. And guess what? It ended up working out. Okay. Right?
See, like, I think in simplistic
depends
form,
on perspective.
I think in a simplistic form, it's just kind of like the equality in that, you know, in terms of like, sometimes guys like to be treated. We don't say it. Yeah. But we want it. The thing is, girls will say it. Yeah. Versus what guys will, right? So like, we don't mind doing the stuff and paying, but like, let's say for example, if you're out on a date, the girl's like, no, don't worry, I got it. We feel good about it. Just like a girl would, right? Yeah. But the thing is, we're not going to go ahead and say we like that, right? Because at the same time, it can kind of go into the same context where we started off with the being like our masculine side is taken away from us because it's emotional.
If you're letting them,
exactly, right? So that's the whole like kind of like divide on it, right? We want it, but we're not going to say we want it.
I think at the end of the day, everyone is different, but everyone's still a person.
Yeah, true. Right? You're right.
That's simple as that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
I love you guys. Kathy?
I love you all.
You're okay. Afi? You're great. I love you too.
God. Okay, well, with that, I hope you guys liked this super long episode. So sorry for all the cuts in between. But if you like this episode, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all the podcast platforms. And a little lag there. Leave us a review, and everything's going to be linked down below. Do you guys want to promote anything?
Say anything?
Nothing to promote.
Paolo, your
podcast.
I have my own podcast with my brother and my friend, the Reference Point Podcast, where we talk about all things nerdy.
We love it.
It's it's really funny. It's really funny. Highly recommend. So go check that out. Everything will be linked down below, and that's about it. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, and thank you guys for being on the podcast.
We almost forgot to once again.
Thanks to our guests.
It was a pleasure and an honor.
Okay. All right. That wraps it up. See you guys.